Joe Leaphorn, Zahn McClarnon, Jim Chee, Kiowa Gordon, and Bernadet Manuelito, Jessica Matt 10, had quite a few developments in the new episode of Dark Wind Season 3, and there were some very confusing parts of their cases. For example, Chee inexplicably found a photo of Bernadet at the farm they were investigating, while Bernadet also had a very confusing conversation with Budge de Boca, Raul Max Trujillo, that was either a threat or an invitation. Those developments, and the new directions Dark Wind Season 3 might take, need to be explained. The cast of Dark Wind Season 3 has been split between the Navajo Nation and the border, but there may be a way to reconnect them. Getting Leaphorn, Chee, and Bernadet back together again would do a lot to help Dark Wind Season 3, as their core group is one of the best parts of the entire show. It would also allow the romance between Bernadet and Chee to continue, which I would personally love to see. Luckily, Dark Wind Season 3, Episode 3 set up the perfect way to get the gang back together, all thanks to the weird farmers. Why did the farmers have a picture of Bernadet in Dark Wind Season 3, Episode 3? The farmers are likely involved with Tom Spencer's human trafficking, and Leaphorn and Chee's investigation is likely tied to Bernadette's. When Leaphorn and Chee raided the farm of the people living on the parcel of land owned by the Bureau of Land Management, they found some mysterious evidence. The farmers had a board filled with pictures of police officers, and one of the officers was Bernadet Manuelito. Bernadet, however, is hundreds of miles away and working for the Border Patrol. It seems that the farmers are directly tied to Tom Spencer, Bruce Greenwood, and his human trafficking ring, which would explain why they would be on the lookout for a Border Patrol agent like Bernadet. If the farmers do prove to be involved in human trafficking, they would have to know which members of Border Patrol aren't on Spencer's payroll, such as Bernadet, to avoid them. At the very least, the pictures on the farm tie Bernadette's case into Leaphorn and Chee's, which should give the core crew of Dark Winds a chance to reunite for the first time in Season 3. The farmers may even be the key to proving that Spencer is involved in human trafficking and finding out what the pigs are. Is Suzanne dead? Suzanne seemed to have been forcibly overdosed, but she's still alive for now. Joe Leaphorn, Zahn McClarnon, looking frightened in the dark in Dark Wind Season 3, Episode 1. Out of all the farmers, one of them stood out, a woman named Suzanne, Casimir Gillette. Suzanne had a secret meeting with Leaphorn where she revealed a connection between the farmers and Ernesto Cater and George Bowlegs. When Leaphorn and Chee went to investigate the farm, however, Suzanne was almost unconscious with a needle sticking out of her arm. Luckily, Suzanne probably isn't dead. The other farmers likely found out that Suzanne had talked to Leaphorn and tried to stage her murder as an accident. Luckily for Suzanne, Leaphorn, and Chee, the farmers' murder plot can easily be undone. Narcan, a drug that can reverse the effects of an opiate overdose, was approved by the FDA for use in 1971, a year before Dark Wind Season 3 takes place. The Navajo tribal police likely don't have Narcan yet, but Gordo Serra's, a Martinez, Sheriff's Department probably does, which could save Suzanne's life. Once she's better, she should be able to give Chee and Leaphorn a better idea of how the farmers tie into their case. How the farmers are connected to Ernesto Cater's death. Halsey drove the red truck that was spotted the night Ernesto Cater went missing. Joe Leaphorn, Zahn McClarnon, and Gordo Serra, a Martinez, look at Ernesto Cater's body hanging from the culvert in Dark Wind Season 3, Episode 1. The reason the farmers apparently attempted to kill Suzanne is because she told Leaphorn about their connection to George Bowlegs and Ernesto Cater. According to Suzanne, one of the farmers, Halsey, Phil Burke, had taken the red truck out on the same day Ernesto went missing, and a red truck was spotted at the site of the bicycle and bloodstain. It's possible that Halsey and some other farmers are the people who murdered Ernesto, and they may be looking to find George Bowlegs as well. The farmers also put a lot more suspicion on themselves when they packed up their entire farm in the middle of the night. When Leaphorn and Chee got to the farm, everyone was gone except for the same man who ran from them the first time. It seems the farmers figured out that Leaphorn and Chee were onto them and decided to leave town before they were caught, which certainly implies they were at least partially responsible for Ernesto Cater's death. Once Leaphorn and Chee find the farmers, they may blow their case wide open. Does Sylvia Washington suspect Leaphorn in BJ Vine's murder? Washington probably knows more than she lets on, and Leaphorn is in trouble. Special Agent Sylvia Washington, Jenna Elfman, swatting a fly in Dark Wind Season 3, Episode 1. Another major development in Dark Wind Season 3 came when Special Agent Sylvia Washington, Jenna Elfman, discovered BJ Vine's body in the desert. At the end of Dark Wind Season 2, Leaphorn had stranded Vines in the wild and left him to die, and his body being recovered means that Washington has confirmation that he didn't simply flee the country. While Washington claimed she didn't suspect Leaphorn in Vine's murder, she's likely lying. Her main investigatory tactic seems to be playing dumb, and she probably just wants to lull Leaphorn into a false sense of security, even if Washington doesn't already suspect Leaphorn as the killer. However, he's not out of the woods yet. With a body as evidence, Washington's investigation is about to get a lot more intense, and she could find some evidence that points towards Leaphorn. Either way, the investigation into BJ Vine's death is going to cause some problems and stress for Leaphorn, and it has already begun. What Emma knowing about BJ Vine's death means for Dark Winds Season 3. Emma and Joe's relationship is the core of Dark Winds, and it will be on thin ice for a while. Deanna Allison as Emma and Zahn McClarnon as Joe Leaphorn in Dark Winds custom image by Alicia Grauso. After hearing about BJ Vine's body on the radio, Emma Leaphorn, Deanna Allison, confronted Joe about it. Joe couldn't lie directly to his wife's face, so Emma now knows that Joe is responsible for Vine's death. Understandably, she was enraged at Joe and told him that he invited Vine's spirit into their home and soaked Joe Jr.'s memory in blood. There's now a divide between Emma and Joe, which isn't good news for Dark Wind Season 3, as their relationship is a fundamental part of the show. Joe is going to have to find a way to make it up to her and get Vine's spirit out of their house. Was Budge threatening Bernadet or trying to make a deal with her? Budge seemed to be threatening Bernadet into staying away from Spencer's operation. Rural Max Trujillo as Roberto C. de Boca in Dark Wind Season 3. Another big yet confusing development in Dark Wind Season 3, Episode 3 was Budge de Boca's conversation with Bernadet. Budge had previously returned the pistol Bernadet lost in the premiere of Dark Wind Season 3, and he